this wasn't, your normal training that you would do for a film. Normally you train, you get your lines together and you go on about your business. But Miss Peyton, you were running, you were tackling dogs. So let's talk about that for a second.
Oh my gosh, the poor dog. Wow. Honestly, like Niall said, this was nothing we had ever done before, and it was a totally new experience, especially in the aspect of how physical the movie was. My character, she rides a skateboard, she sings, she plays the guitar, she runs in a ball gown half the film. So there was a ton of physical stuff that I had to sort of work on. And I think we all really wanted the film to look as authentic and as real as possible. So really working on those physical scenes and the more physical elements of the film were really important to us. And I think it really, in the end, like, at least for me, it really helped me get into character by just not only having that like emotional preparation, but also the physicality of it all, and sort of not only stepping into my character's head, but also into her body and into the things she did.
My training was exactly like how she said. And, for me, when I knew that I was approaching, a superhero role and knowing my character, I wanted to be more built for the role. So I worked out and gained 26 plus pounds. For the
Wow.
role. And not only that, when we were there, the cast was coming to the gym and stuff and working out, so, we were all, staying in shape and, trying to get in our superhero physique on, or, whatever.
Well, y'all had superhero physique going on for days. I was like, when you were running in that ball gown, I'm like, you go, girl. But you had those boots on underneath. It's not like you was doing it in pumps like Miss Girl in Jurassic World. So I was like, okay, go, Peyton, go. So there was a line that struck me to my core where somebody said, being second royal doesn't mean second best. How do you think this applies to Tuma and Sam?
And there are amazing things about being second born. You have this older sibling that has been through everything you've been through, and you have them there to give advice and to help you out. But it's also difficult, especially when you have a sister that's perfect in every conceivable way to you, and for Sam, that's her sister Eleanor, and for me, that's my sister Ella. I mean, my sister is going to Harvard. She was recruited to play softball there, so she's like crazy smart. She's super athletic, and I love her to death. But that doesn't mean that sometimes it's difficult when you sort of feel like you're in the shadows. And so I definitely connected with Sam, and you sort of see how that feeling and that energy of feeling like you're not only second born, but also second best, and how that sort of propels a lot of the things she does, especially towards the beginning of the film.
For Tuma, it was not more that he was always not treated as, enough. I feel like it was even more the opposite, to where I think it was so much praise. Like, oh, to where you get an inflated sense of ego, which can really happen when you are when you're successful. You know what I'm saying? And I think that really you really see that, through the movie, him have to deal with learning. It's not all about I. And I think that's applicable to anything we do in life. Like, we can always check ourselves and make sure that we're not being selfish or too overly focused on my me or my bottom line, or so I think that's really what you see him deal with. And I feel like that will be very good for teenagers to see, because I feel like that's something that you really have to learn when you're a teenager. Like, it's not all about me, and I think you realize that because you're transitioning from a kid to a young adult, and reality starts hitting, like, hey, not everybody's going to coddle you or do this for you, and you can't, actions have consequences, and you got to realize that.
I was there for all of it. Thank you, my little Asian princess and my little brown caramel brother. I thank y'all so much.
Thank you.